I'm Brent, and this is Faith Talk.
So, how many of you guys are oversubscribed? Now you might be asking.
Not to our channel.
No, not to our channel.
Redefine what you're
Not to
asking.
the channel. Oversubscribed is a term that means I got too much stuff going on. I can speak for both of us, I think, where we live and die by our calendars on our cell phones or on our laptops or whatever. How many blocks do you have out in your calendar on a given basis, on a given day?
Oh, good.
It's full.
I don't generally actually separate it by day. I look at it a month at a time.
Wow, you're brave.
I'm so planned out that like I annoy people at work because January 2nd, we can't put like vacation requests for the next year on the calendar.
Wow.
I have to wait till after January 1st.
Well, that stinks.
So, my first shift after the new year, I go in there and request time off all the way through the following December.
Oh, wow.
Because I know I'm going to be gone for this event or for that event, or like our races, right? I have the dates for those. So I start blocking out stuff a year out,
Makes sense.
which makes my coworkers crazy because they're like, how do you already have like 6 different things on this calendar? Because I know what I'm doing.
What about
What
your weekday from day to day? Your schedule pretty full?
I try and keep my quote unquote days off. And notice I use this little because days off just means I'm not as organized. I still have just as many things fighting over my time, but I try not to set off too much because I try and leave as much of that time for my kids as possible because they want every minute of my time, of course. But like today, Mondays are my day off, and they're also one of my busiest days. Between our meetings and set gym times and trying to get videos out and stuff like that, I still have then getting my kids off to school and taking care of what she needs before I get her off to school and my wife's schedule.
He's pretty busy then.
Yeah, well, you add in other people's schedules, right? Because you have a very full schedule. But I'm also accounting for like what time my kid gets off,
Right.
what time she has to be at school, what time I have to pick her up from school. So that adds more blocks to my calendar. And what my wife has going on during the course of that day affects my calendar. So it gets really crazy the more you add to it.
Mine's a little bit different because it's just, it's myself and my youth ministry. But
Right,
between
but you're adding several people's
I'm
lives when you add
exactly.
in youth ministry.
you start needing to get into, I have this
I
block
used to do that too. And
I have this block of time from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. This is slotted for work, and this is meetings and stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll have my youth ministry calendar right next to that, and then my personal calendar. So it'll be like work, youth ministry, personal calendar, and you'll start seeing where the blocks intersect and all that. Now, for kids that are going to school, you may not keep a schedule as nifty and tidy as some of us do.
yeah, but they got one.
But they've got schedules just the same. How do you guys track your events on Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat? I see people doing that a lot nowadays, or Instagram. And we're on most of those social media platforms, by the way. But I don't know about you, but there are times that I feel that I'm oversubscribed. I got too much going on, and I need to take a break.
I think we need to change the word just because I know it's messing with my head.
That's
a little
fine.
bit.
Change the word. Oversubscribed. Overcommitted.
Overbooked.
Overbooked.
Overcommitted.
Overcommitted.
Overscheduled.
It's messing with your head because oversubscribed means YouTube channel.
Well, we're filming for YouTube right now.
That's
right?
true.
If you're watching this, you're watching YouTube. Right
Yeah,
now.
so YouTube-
subscribe means something totally different. to you.
YouTube corporate, we don't mean any. We're not being mean by saying oversubscribed. That's not what we're getting to. But how many guys feel anxious when you can't get stuff done? Like you had all these things you were going to do that day, and you got a quarter of it done.
Man, there is always too much to do. That's the way I feel. In fact, I got one of my doctors who thinks I have anxiety issues, which
Woohoo! Pound it!
which is hilarious. I don't think I have anxiety issues, but it's because
Denial was the first part.
it's because I am so busy that I never actually get through the day and feel like I've checked off all the boxes.
Sure.
My daughter, speaking of that, she watched VeggieTale, where one of the girls like uber organized and she creates a checklist for everything. And so Abby likes to walk around, and she draws little check boxes and writes in things and makes a checklist. It's
5,
hilarious.
right?
Yeah, she's 5.
Does she have a cell phone yet?
She checks off things, and I'm looking at it thinking, oh no, what is my child learning from me?
The thing I run into is we get anxious because we have so much oversubscribed.
You can't get it done. Yeah.
You just can't get everything done. And I know in the school scenario, I remember from my high school days that, gosh, I was going to have this project, I got this going on, and this final, and this, and this, and this, but yet I got all this stuff over here, and
actually, some of my teenagers were the first people I ever really saw that with.
Oh yeah.
When I was a youth minister, some of my teenagers were some of the first people I ever really identified this as a problem for, because they were so overscheduled for everything.
Well, like I've told the teens in our youth group, is that anybody who says that you don't have a schedule hasn't stopped for a moment and talked to you about it. I turned my cell phone around and showed kids my schedule for my work and then my youth ministry and personal stuff, and they're like, okay, yeah, dude, but I got equal amount of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I may not have it written down, but I'm just as busy as you are. But what's interesting, I lost it. What's interesting is we get all anxious about it. We feel that we've failed. We feel that we've got these issues about, hey, we just can't get everything done. And Jesus says in Luke 12, this is something that I have to go back and read quite a bit. I'm going to read it from my Bible app here. And he said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. Life is more than food, the body is more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. How much more value are you than the birds? And which of you, being anxious, can add one single hour to his span of life? I could read, really.
I'll scroll it through here or something.
That's fine. Then you're not able to do a small thing as that. Why are you anxious about the rest? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. Yet I tell you, even Solomon, in all his glory, was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass, which is alive in the field today, and tomorrow is thrown into the oven, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith?
Which translation are you reading?
ESV. Can we do another one?
No, we can stop there.
Sure.
But I like some of the other translations just because it doesn't say don't worry about your life. It says don't worry about today.
Or tomorrow.
And I think, well, both, I'm not saying one translation is more correct than the other, because when you're translating, ancient Greek, it gets a little interesting sometimes. Both could actually be very accurate. But I think...
I'll read it in your translation. Whatever
Yeah.
you have, whatever you're comfortable with. I like the ESV, English Standard Version myself.
I'm actually very fond of the ESV. I think I'm the one who got you started using
you are.
that one. But I think either way it applies the same. And for this video, I want to talk about don't worry about today, or about tomorrow so much, because you got enough today. And as adults, as if we have done you the disservice, teenagers out there, of saying that you aren't busy or you guys don't understand how busy I am, let me A, apologize, as Dave's already said, and B, let me explain why. The reason that we sometimes think that, and we're wrong to think that, the reason we think that sometimes is the ultimate ramifications are different. The consequences are different.
That's true.
Right? I'm busy, and part of the reason that I'm busy so often has to do with my job, or with your job, right? But if we don't maintain that, if we aren't busy, if we don't work that hard, then we don't have a job.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we can't pay bills, and then we don't have the things that we've worked hard, like our homes, our motorcycles, as you and I love our motorcycles, right? We don't have those things anymore because we can't afford to have them because we lost our job.
Right.
So we think of it in terms of consequences or ramifications. If we don't stay that busy, if we don't work this hard, if we don't put in 110% all the time on this, then we can't maintain the life we built. And we don't look at teenagers sometimes and go, well, yeah, but you don't actually have to do that. You're taken care of. You have a house, you have a roof over your head, your parents are taking care of you, they're feeding you. It's not life or death if you don't keep your schedule. Where, at least for part of our schedule, not all of it, okay? Not all of our schedule impacts us this way, but part of our schedule we think of as, oh, well, we're actually legitimately busy because ours impacts our ability to eat and cover our heads and stuff like that, right? And so sometimes we get off thinking, well, we're adults and we have real consequences if we're not busy.
Yeah, teenagers have consequences
right,
as well.
But
it may not be like
we don't
death,
legitimize their consequences
No,
sometimes as adults because it's not life or death.
Right.
But for them, it's just as emotionally impacting.
Sure.
So we
We're
definitely
not trying to talk about you in the third person.
right. But I mean, this is a talk show. This is what we're talking.
Right.
That's, I think, where some adults get this concept from. But we're looking at the emotional impact and the mental impact of being busy all the time
And being worried.
and being worried about it. And that is just as legitimate, and it's just as real, whether it's being able to pay for your food or,
Grade on that test.
getting a good grade on this test. That has a significant emotional and mental impact either way. That's still the same worry, and it causes the same kind of stress spikes and everything else. So I think as adults, sometimes we get too dismissive about it. But either way, it's real. And it comes back to this of, let's face it, sometimes today stinks.
Occasionally.
I've had a rough, for example, I had a rough last week.
You did?
My daughter got sent home with lice from school, which was devastating for her. Oh my goodness, she cried and cried and cried. I felt so it was, one of those sick to your stomach feelings because there's nothing I could do about it. But she was so distraught. And then it turned out, of course, that, we cuddle and the girls end up in my bed half the time, sleeping the later half of the night anyway. They come crawling in bed about 3 a.m., which means, I don't sleep much.
He wakes up.
They come crawling in our bed about 3 a.m. So guess what? All of us have lice, which is why I have a new haircut at the moment. Oh, yeah, I've gone back to my old look. I'm modeling myself after Dave.
He's got more hair than I do. But
Dave's going to grow a beard. We're going to be twins. You can't even tell.
Nope, not happening. Not happening.
But, right, so I was dealing with that, but I was also working a long weekend because I had agreed to cover the holidays. So I worked an extra. I worked Thanksgiving. I also worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I worked Wednesday last week. So I worked 5 days, which doesn't seem a lot to a lot of people because they work 5 days a week. I work four tens instead of 5/8 usually. But, so that was another day. Well, then I got sick Saturday.
Right.
So I had like a 24-hour flu bug. So I went to work sick as a dog Saturday and Sunday. And so, I haven't gotten to my workouts. A lot of things in my schedule fell off because it was just more and more and
And you
more.
got anxious about it, didn't you?
And oh my goodness, I have been so stressed out about all the things I'm not getting done because I'm trying to get better and because, it's
Wow.
been one of those weeks.
I will say this. Don't let us put words in your mouth. Adults, chime in. Comments below. Let us
Oh,
know
yeah.
if we're on the right track. Let us know we have the wrong idea. Teenagers, let us know your thoughts as well.
You guys know about stress, and your stress is real. Don't ever let someone
Yeah.
tell you it's not. Now, I have one of my favorite shirts that Dave recently saw. It's not this one, although this is a cool shirt. My sister got me this.
That is kind of a cool shirt.
It says, "Suffer beautifully."
That's a cool shirt.
And the concept behind it, and I actually have the YouTube video liked on our channel, so you guys can check it out, see what I'm saying. I like the concept because the guy who created the video works with a lot of special athletes, para athletes, whatever you want to call them, people who have lost limbs or competing like the Special Olympics, and they do strongman, right? They do strongman. And these are people with like
You want to explain what strongman is?
strongman competitions is another strength competition, but unlike bodybuilding or where it's all about how you look, or powerlifting where it's you in one place moving a weight like a bench press or a squat, strongman events require extreme amounts of weight moved over massive distances sometimes are. So I'll throw out a name that a lot of you guys in YouTube land will recognize. Hafthor Bjornsson. Some of you guys will know him from Game of Thrones
Oh,
as the Mountain.
Mountain, yeah, okay.
Okay, he actually
I
is.
never watched Game of Thrones, but I know who the Mountain is.
He is in the top 3 in the World's Strongest Man competition for years running now. He is
Magnus-
Europe's World's Strongest Man.
Magnus for Magnus was one I remember.
Yeah, now we're going old school.
Old school.
But right, these guys pick up 1,000 pounds across their shoulders and walk 30 yards for distance
Or
for
when
time.
I loved it when they would tow the
They
back
tow a
truck,
bus, yeah,
or a
or-
bus or something, a back truck like 100 yards or whatever.
So I like strongman competitors because it's not just you don't have to be just strong in one place. You have to be strong and actually use that strength to do something. So it's kind of cool. But these guys do strongman with like missing a leg. They're using prosthetics and stuff like that. So he works with a lot of cool athletes. And the guy who actually made the video, I'm going really long, sorry,
That's right.
is
Yeah.
has a brain tumor actually. It's benign, I believe, but it presses on his brain. He has to be scanned all the time. But his whole message on it was everybody's got problems, and your problems may be different than this person's problems, but everybody has problems. The only thing we can do, and it's the same case here, all of us got stress, all of us got a lot going on. The only thing we can control is how we handle it.
Yep. I
And
completely
for
agree.
me, since this worrying about tomorrow is a big stress for me,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really bad about this. And so that actually, I bought the T-shirt because I believe in it, not just because there's problems. It also applies emotionally and mentally. It applies to this situation. The only thing I can control about tomorrow and about the stress and what I've got going on tomorrow is how I handle that. And that's where this comes into a lot of comfort, because I can go back to our passage here in Luke and go, I can handle the load I got for tomorrow because God's got it. God's carrying the weight of it. And my problem is I keep trying to take that away from God sometimes and carrying that weight on my own. And the cross is a whole lot easier to carry when you're not the one carrying it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Right? We can worry about tomorrow, but Jesus tells us we don't have to. We don't have to worry about tomorrow because God's carrying tomorrow. And when we're overscheduling ourselves like this, and guys, let's face it, we're really bad. If you've been on a foreign mission trip, right? You go to a lot of other countries, man, they got to worry about what they're eating.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, they got to worry about if
I
they're
haven't,
eating.
I haven't been that far.
I've been in a few places where, and I haven't been far out of country. That's the sad thing. You don't actually have to go real far to find that.
You can find it here.
I found that in the U.S. So my parents work with in an area where there's a lot of homeless people, and I mean that's life and death out there. Those people, they just worry about what they're eating and what they're drinking that day, and that's in our back. That's in California where they work. But you don't have to go far to find that, and that's a real struggle. Some people, they walk 4 hours one direction to get clean water for the day, just so they can drink water or more. Right, 8 hours round trip just to get your water. And we go down and buy a water bottle. We hit the water fountain, and we're so very blessed that way. But we tend to overschedule ourselves this way really bad.
And then worry about it later.
And then we stress out and freak out. All we can control is how we carry that weight when we pile it on. And this means that I can handle it with some grace, maybe, because I'm not the one carrying it. I just gotta remember that.
Well, you've got help.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. Is you've got the help you need to get through the day. There's not going to be. Well, I'll say that for another video. But there's help there when it's needed.
Yeah.
I think that's the kick. I mean, we'll just remember. So, any rate,
Yeah, we went long on this
we
one.
will love this one. Comment below. Let us know your thoughts.
Tell us what else you want to hear us talk about, guys. We can talk a lot. I promise. We did tell you we're going to get some people to come in and guest on the show, so we
Working on
have
it.
more than us talking. We're looking at that. If you're in the area and you want to drop in and put it on this, hey, call us. Get in contact with us. Maybe you can come in and schedule a time when we're taping, and
Love to have you over.
we'll talk about it.
Till
For
then,
now,
I'm Dave.
I'm Brent. It's been